No, because this is a local variable to this function, so this item is not accessible to outside this function. But we can update this variable inside this function, and uh, we can update the values of this item in the function. Whether this push is available outside this function, whether I can use this push function outside this stack function. So this push function is created using the this. So whenever I create an object, so if I create an object, for example, var my stack is equal to new stack. Whenever I create this new stack, all this will be reference to the stack. That means I can use all this variable or functions outside this function using this my stack. So I can say my stack dot push, it is valid. I can say my stack dot pop, it is valid, because this is now referencing to the stack, and we created the instance of the stack with the name of my stack. So anything that is defined using this is accessible outside this function using this variable my stack. So all this my stack dot print, my stack dot clear, my stack dot size is accessible, and they are outside because all are related to this, and this is nothing but this stack, which is a copy of this my stack. So now let's fill the first function. That is called the this dot push. Now this is the items. Items is an array. If I want to add anything in the array, what is the keyword I use in the JavaScript? How can I add element in an array? You have to type in the chat. Whenever I'm asking, there's a chat. You have to open the chat box and type in the chat and answer it. How can I add an item in an array? Push. So this is an array. Okay, item 0 is also there, but we don't know the 0, 1, 2, 3 because it can be any number. Otherwise, I have to find out based on the length of the array, and then I have to use the 0, 1, 2, 3. So better is we can use push keyword and I can add it. So unshift will be at the top. Since we are doing the stack means it should go in the back of the, so book 1, then I have to put book 2 on top of it, book 3 on top of it, book 4 on the top of it. So everything will come afterwards. So first one will be going in, then this one, then this one, then this one. So unshift will not be used in the stack. We will use unshift in another data structure, not in the stack. So in the stack, we have to add the element one behind the another. So it will be items dot push, and the element will be nothing but this element. So that's it about this function. So we have done the push function. Push will nothing but it will add the element into my array. Next is the pop. In the stack, we add the element, we add another element, we add another element, we add another element. Now when we want to remove, we don't remove from the top. We remove from the last one. So the last one is this one, book 4. So we have to remove this book 4 first, then we have to remove book 3, then we have to remove book 2, then we have to remove book 1. So to remove the book 4, we will use the pop function of the array. So here we will say return items dot pop. So when I want to remove I will use item.pop because I want to remove from the back of the array. If I want to remove front of the array, we will use shift kind of thing, array.shift, so to remove it from the front. But now, in case of the we always remove from the back of the array, so that is the book4, and we will use pop method of the array. Now the peak is something which you have to tell me. Peak is something, let's say I added book 1 and book 2. I want to see which one is the current last one in the, I want to see which one is the last one which I added in the array. Let's say now if I have book 4, I want to see book 4. So peak is nothing but I want to see which one is the last item in the array. So to check the last item in the array, what can I use? If you know the array, how will I check the last item in the array? So if I have added book 1, book 2, book 3, book 4, I want to print our book 4. How will I print out the book 4? Yeah, so how to get the last element? How will I console.log? Let's say if I want to do console.log of the last element, that is the book 4. I have everything in the items array. Now I want to print out or I want to display the last item in this items array. How will I display it? Array length dot minus 1. So yeah, this is the correct way to display the last item in the array. So peak means I want to display the last item, and that one will be I will return items, and in the array I will say items dot length minus 1. So minus 1 means total there are, let's say, 4 items. So 4 minus 1 will be 0, and that will be 3. That will be 3, and 3 will be nothing but book 4. I can display that using this peak method. Now if the array is empty, I want to say is empty, that means there is no books inside the my stack, everything is empty. So what will be the array part? I will write it here so that I know that there is no item in the array. Item dot size equal to 0. Okay, so I can also say this item, this is not the item. So here we can, you're correct in one way. Yeah, items dot length equal to 0. That's what I'm looking. So I can say items dot length is equal to 0. That means it is empty. There is no size. Size is related to the stack, not related to items. Items is an array, and we have to manipulate items as an array. If I want to return the size, what will be the array function for the size? Let's say I have 4 items, so I want to return 4. What will be the array part for it? Items dot length, right? So I will say this in the size, I will say return items dot length. So if I want to clear everything, let's say if I have 4 books in my array, I want to clear everything so that I can start afresh. So how will I clear this items array? Okay, yeah, it will be reinitialize an array. So I will do that like this. Yeah, it's correct. Array items equal to this. So I will say items is equal to. I will not return anything because it does not need. I will say clear means clear. That is, items should be reinitialized to the array. So it is. And if I want to print the items of the array, what will I do here? I want to display what is there in the items. So if I want to display the items, how will I display it? Okay, console.log. No need for each. Just we will say console.log of items. Items are items. इधर जा. Okay, 1 second. Okay, so this is my stack is done. Now we will use this stack to display some of the items, and we'll see whether everything is working fine or not. So first thing is that I will create the stack. So I can say I can use var or I can use let also. And I'll say my stack equal to new stack. So we created the object from this function. Now if I do console.log of this, what will be this referencing to? Since I created this object, now this will be referencing to what? My stack. That is this stack object. It will be not the window. So it will be the stack object. That is the object which we are creating this one. And that is called my stack. Instance is my stack. So it is one and the same thing. Now first thing is I will check whether my stack is empty or not. So I will say console.log is empty. So I'll say my stack dot is empty. I will check this one whether it's working fine or not. Since this is a JavaScript file, I have to use it in the HTML to really display it because this will not run. So I will move this HTML inside it. And here I will call stack.js file. So now let's run this HTML file. So, so I will see is empty equal to true, because now there is no element in the stack, so we are getting the empty one. Now we will add book all book to see how it goes. So let's try to add the book inside it. So I will say my stack dot push. Now this is not the push for the array. This is the push which we have created here, this one. Array has default functionality for the push, but here we have this object and this function is created in the object. And I will put the element called as book1, and I will add few more. Once I added all the elements, I will first peek it. Peek means I will see whether I am getting this book 4 correctly or not. So I will say console.log my stack dot peek, refresh it. So it is showing book 4 because the last item is the book 4. Now what I will do, I will check the size of my array. We have to check this size also. We will go through each function to see. So I will say console.log my dot size. After I check the size, I will again check if my stack is empty or not. Okay, so let's try that one. The size is 4. Initially it was empty. Now it is not empty. It is saying false. Next thing which we will do is we'll add one more. I will add one more. I will say my stack dot push 5, and I will check it again. Okay, I will do print now. So I will say console.log my stack. For the console.log, I don't need console.log. The console.log is already here. So I will say my stack.print. That's it, and it will call this console.log. So it's saying book 1, book 2, book 3, book 4, book 5. Now I will take one element from this one. That is, since it is added first, it goes here, second, third, fourth, fifth, and the last one will come out first. So I will pop this. I will pop this one. Let's do the pop. Print, I will keep it in the last. I will say stack dot pop. So when I do pop, it is returning this pop, and I can do console.log of that one. So the pop is coming book 5 and remaining books are 4 appearing here. If I do pop again, so all 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 are coming. That is, the last one comes out first, then second last comes out second, third, fourth, and fifth one is still there. Let's check the size again after this one. We have the size of 1 now because all items are gone. So this is something we took the use of this stack one, and this is the function which we created, stack, and I will give you this stack function in the chat, and tomorrow I will ask everyone to write down the stack function without looking anywhere in the book or anywhere. So you should be prepared. Without looking in the book, you should be able to write the push, pop, peek, is empty, size, clear, and print. So how many functions are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you have to write 7 functions without looking a book or anything. just write down everything which I have here, and then you're done for the stack one, understanding the stack. But we have to see a lot of examples in the stack. So one of the example which I will start today, but it will take few days to complete because it's a big one, and I think I doubt that tomorrow also I will be able to finish it because it's too big. So it's to understand it has a lot of parts in it, and if it is done, I will take another example. So I have 2-3 examples for the stack. So I will take first example. I will name it as 2.html, and 2.html is I will create the source code a script tag. So now the 2.html is something like this. Let me put this. Let me put this sample examples in the 1.html only. So we have this in the 1.html, and here we have only the stack function. And I'll refresh it. We are getting everything same. So now what I will do, I will call this stack again here because I want to use this stack. I will call that stack in the 2.html also, because I want to take use of this function and use it as an object to do some multiple things as an example. Now this is called the balanced parenthesis project, and this is very important in the interview. Many people ask this problem in the interview also. So what it does? So it has, let's say you are passing the, let's say you have variable called as balls, and this variable will be having like this curly bracket or round bracket, curly bracket, and the rectangular bracket. So these 3 kinds of brackets we work on this project. And you start with, let's say, round bracket, and then there is a curly bracket, and there is a rectangular bracket. Since rectangular bracket came in the last, I have another rectangular closing bracket which comes now, and then I have curly bracket because curly bracket came second one, and then I have the round bracket. So since round bracket start first, then curly bracket, that rectangular bracket, and while removing it, I want to remove first rectangular bracket to match it with this rectangular bracket. Then I have to remove curly bracket from this one to match with the curly bracket of this one. And then I have to remove the curly bracket, round bracket of this one to match with the round bracket of this one. So the project is that if I'm opening a bracket, it should close the bracket. It should have closing bracket also. And if in between I'm creating another curly bracket, it should follow the same pattern, and there should be curly bracket also closing it. So the main aim of this one is it should not be like this. If I start with round bracket, I cannot close it with rectangular bracket because both are of different one. If I start with round bracket, I should end with the round bracket. And if I start something in between, let's say I start curly bracket, and then I cannot close curly bracket outside the round bracket because then it will be not balanced. See, it is curly bracket should be inside the round bracket. I cannot close curly bracket outside the round bracket. Did you got the meaning of the project? So it should be balanced. If I start with round bracket should have round bracket in the end because it starts first, and then I start the curly bracket, it should have a curly bracket. So this is the project. Did you understood the project, meaning of the project? What we are trying to achieve? So if we have round bracket, then ending should be round bracket. If we have curly bracket, then ending should be curly bracket. If we start with rectangular bracket, ending should be rectangular bracket. Now I will give you few examples. You have to tell me which one is correct and which one is not correct. I am starting with the round bracket, then I am starting with the rectangular bracket, then I am starting with the rectangular bracket, closing with the rectangle bracket, I'm closing with the round bracket. Is this valid or not? It's right, it is valid. If I'm starting with the round bracket, then I'm putting curly bracket, rectangular bracket, then I'm putting curly bracket, then I'm putting rectangular bracket, then I'm putting curly bracket, and then I'm putting round bracket. Is this valid or not? No, because curly bracket uh, should end with the curly bracket. It is ending with the rectangular bracket. So this is the concept of this project, and we have to do this project like this. Now, when I get this project, I thought that since I'm putting round bracket, then I'm putting rectangular bracket, and then I'm putting uh, curly bracket, and then I'm putting rectangular bracket, and I'm matching it again in the reverse order what I'm putting it. Since the one which is ending going inside first, that is the last which is going, has to come out first. So if my rectangular bracket is going in the last, it should come out first to match with the another rectangular bracket. So that's the reason I thought the stack should be used in this project, because of this kind of the pattern. Someone asked me this question in the interview, and at that time I did not did this example for the stack, but based on the requirement, I thought this should be the stack, because it is coming, the last which is going should come out first. So whenever you get the project, some projects are directly related to any data structure, then you can use that data structure to do that. But if you cannot recognize it as a data structure, then you can go with normal, JavaScript coding without any data structure. Just go with the flow. So there are two ways to tackle any problem. If you can find some data structure, go with that. And if you cannot find any data structure related to any problem, then you just go with the for loop, while loop, and whatever you can feel, you can use that one. So now we will do this project, and we will try to see it. Since and this is the big project, and it may take 1 or 2 or 3 days, because I have to explain you many things in this. So let's say I will create a function which will keep my parentheses. So my function will be fn. I will just name it as a fn, and then I will put some test cases which I will pass. For example, I will do console.log. I will call fn function, and I will pass symbols in it. So for example, first case will be the valid one. I will put curly bracket, round bracket, rectangular bracket, closing with rectangular bracket, closing with round bracket, closing with a curly bracket. So this is a purely valid case. So answer should be true in this case. I will pass few more. I will pass few more characters. This second case should also be the true, and I will pass like this. I will pass curly bracket, round bracket, rectangular bracket closing. I start another rectangular bracket. I close another rectangular bracket, and then I put the bracket, this round bracket, this round bracket. I put this round bracket here. Then I start end with the curly bracket. That is this curly bracket. After I end the curly bracket, I can start again with another symbol. Maybe I can start with the round bracket, close with the round bracket, or I can put this round bracket inside the curly bracket. Then also it's a valid case. Or 1 second. No, there are two curly bracket here. So I want to close one curly bracket. So this is the internal curly bracket. Let's close it here like this. So one curly bracket gets closed here. Which one is this one? And second curly bracket gets closed here, which is this one. Okay. Let's take one bad example. I will start with the round bracket, curly bracket, and end with the round bracket, and then end with the curly bracket. So this is the false. So for this, it should return me the false, and in other two cases, it should give me the true. So I will start little bit, but I will not complete the thing today. So first thing is, since we observed it is a stack, we will create a variable called as stack. So I will say let stack is equal to new stack. So this is one variable I created it. I will create more variables here as time comes. Right now, I will not pass it, and here I will pass the symbols as the parameter of the symbols kind of thing. Now what I will do, I will go with each character one by one. This one, this one, this one, this one, this one. So I need some indexing. So I will create one variable called as index, which will be 0 initially. 0 means it will go to the first part. Then I will move this index to 1, then the second part. Then I will move the index to the third, then it will take this one. Like this, it will move. As soon as the index will move, I can take the character by character from here. Now, initially, I will say it is balanced. I will say it is balanced. I will make one variable called as true. And somehow, if I find that these are not matching, then I will make the balanced equal to false. And if balanced is false, then it is not matching. So if everything is matching true, I will not change the balance to the false. So balance will be true, and I will say that it is balanced. But somehow if it does not match it like this, then I will make this balance equal to false. And if it is false, then I will say that it is not balanced. So this is the helper variable, which will help us in identifying the things. I will also create two variables. One is called opens equal to, and here I will put all the valid signals, all the valid symbols. For example, round bracket, rectangular bracket, curly bracket. So these are the open symbols which are valid. And I will also create another variable called as closes, and it will be matching with whatever I have. So here if I have round bracket, so here will be closing round bracket, closing rectangular bracket, closing curly bracket. So I will create two variables which will keep the open variables and closing symbols. These are the opening symbols, these are the closing symbols. So this is our variable initialization which we have done. Now we will write the code here to make the things happen. I will give you this code. It's not complete, but we will complete it tomorrow. That's it for today. Just go through this stack and this example till now here, and we will do it more. So just try to remember this few initialization, and we will do tomorrow the code, and then you have to remember it very thoroughly, by heart this code, because this is very important in most of the interviews. And I have seen out of 10 interviews, 4 or 5 people ask this question. So you should be very prepared with this answer.